All right, so then there's this 2 milli thing. And the big question is, can you copyright dance moves? And yes, you can copyright choreography. Remember, choreography, anything else that you're doing can be fixed in a tangible medium of expression, and that makes it copyrightable. We kind of had an interesting discussion about how things get fixed in a tangible medium of expression and how much and who and how. It's a strict liability thing. If it gets fixed, somebody owns a copyright on it. And it's just a matter of figuring out who and what. So the idea, some of the things we thought about were like, what if some third party was recording 2 milli's dance moves? Well, yes, the third party owns a copyright on the video, and 2 milli can't just go using that person's video, but that person doesn't own a copyright on the dance moves, and they have to get permission from 2 milli to do things with their copyright on the dance moves. So then the question here, I think, is that Epic Games put some dance moves into Fortnite, and one of the dance moves looks remarkably like 2 milli's dance moves, right? So let's see what it says here briefly, and then I'm going to talk about why I think you can copyright dance moves. So this is a complaint from Terrence Ferguson, 2 milli, against Epic Games and I guess any other John Does that are unknown at this point. Direct infringement, contributory infringement, California publicity law, more publicity laws, unfair competition, Business Practices Act, and all that. Real quick, the overview: through its unauthorized misappropriation of Ferguson's highly popular dance craze, the Milli Rock, in its video game Fortnite Battle Royale, Epic has unfairly profited from exploiting Ferguson's protected creative expression and likeness. So Ferguson is a rapper known as 2 milli. Defendants capitalized on his creating a 2 milli rock dance, which exploded in popularity following his 2014 release of a hit song. So far, this sounds legally sound. Fortnite was not around in 2014. If they copied a dance that was clearly his and clearly around since 2014, they're probably in some kind of trouble. Let's go on. They capitalized on the popularity, particularly with younger fans, selling the Milli Rock dance as an in-game purchase under the name Swipe It, which players can buy to customize their avatars. Since being released in or around September 2017, Fortnite has become most popular. Approximately 318 million in May 2018 alone, with sales far in excess of 1 billion. So the question then becomes, can you really copyright a dance move? And the answer is yes. I mean, that's the short answer, is that you can copyright basically anything that you can fix into a tangible medium of expression. Anything that is minimally creative. So if I do something that's new and creative and, really hasn't been done before, or sometimes even has been done before, but I make my own arrangement of it, I have a new copyright on that thing. Even if I write stupid words on a page and you guys go make a meme out of it, or even if, what's his name? The Pepe the Frog guy, even if he makes Pepe the Frog and you guys go and make a million different Pepes out of it, he still owns the underlying Pepe the Frog rights and concept, and he's the first in time to own those things, so he has the superseding or intervening or superseding copyright. The winning copyright.
Matt Fury?
Matt Fury, thank you. So same thing here, just because 2 milli created a dance doesn't make it any less copyrightable. But this isn't, this isn't the most fun. Let me see if I can find first a copy of the dance or something, right? Let's see what the 2 milli rock looks like. I mean, it's complicated enough that people have to learn it. That's the first thing I notice. Yeah, there you go. Now, it's also kind of a simple dance move. This is kind of a back and forth shake of your hand. So it has to be minimally creative. It has to be as in newly creative. He has to be creating something that isn't a copy of things that have been done before, isn't so generic that you really can't, you know, describe it so specifically. This, I don't know if this is necessarily copyrightable. This is right on the line. Let's see what Fortnite did. The Fortnite swipe dance, is that what it's called? Swipe it? So does this look like the Millie dance? Yeah, sure. It could definitely be the Millie dance. That doesn't necessarily mean it's copyright infringement. So a couple things. Copyright infringement is either actual copying or substantial similarity and access. So actual copying, of course, also involves access, but we don't have to prove access. If you've proven actual copying, you've proven access. So if someone at Epic Games said, hey, that 2 milli rock dance is really awesome, you know, here's an email off to our developers. Hey guys, here's a link to the 2 milli rock dance video. Go put this in Fortnite. Okay, that's actual copying, you know, case kind of closed. There's still some defenses, though, like maybe Millie doesn't own a copyright on that dance. Maybe the dance is generic enough that it's not copyrightable, that it's not minimally creative. Maybe people dance like that all the time, and he's just used that dance move in his sort of marketing, his creation of the video and the song and the music video and all. That doesn't necessarily mean that that is a new dance that he created from scratch. So he would have only a copyright on new stuff. So if anybody can pretty much prove that anybody in the past has danced like that and they don't care about copyright, then 2 milli does not own a copyright and will not win this. But if 2 milli did create this dance and it is his dance, and Fortnite is either guilty of having access to the dance and being so substantially similar to the dance that it's copyright infringement, basically, or it'll be that they actually said, let's go copy the 2 milli dance. If it's not one of those things, then it's not copyright infringement. And again, even if it is substantially similar, it has to also be something that Millie owns, which will only be something he owns if he created it and if that creation is recognized at a certain level of minimal creativity. But there's a slightly more fun case that I thought we could discuss that I thought you might enjoy. So let's bring up Brownmark Films versus Comedy Partners. And it goes like this. Federal lawsuits seldom touch on such riveting subjects and regard so many colorful parties as the present matter. The plaintiff, Brownmark Films, is the purported co-owner of a copyright in a music video entitled What in the Butt, a nearly 4-minute ditty regarding the derriere of the singer of the underlying work. The music video begins with an array of bizarre imagery, from a burning cross to a floating pink zeppelin, and only gets stranger from there. The heart of the video features an adult African-American male ensconced in a bright red half-buttoned silk shirt, dancing, grinning creepily at the camera, and repeatedly singing the same cryptic phrases. I said what in the butt. You want to do it in my butt, in my butt. Meanwhile, the defendants are the entities involved in the production of South Park, an animated sitcom that centers on the happenings of 4 foul-mouthed 4th graders in a small mountain town in Colorado. In the nearly 15 years South Park has aired on Comedy Central, the 4 central characters have, amongst other adventures, battled space aliens, hunted Osama bin Laden in the wake of 9/11, a la Elmer Fudd and Bugs Bunny, and have more recently resolved the nation's economic woes by charging the nation's consumer debts on one of the characters' credit cards. Oh God, yes, I remember that was a good one. Brownmark and the makers of South Park find themselves litigating against each other in federal court as a result of an April 2nd, 2008 episode of the television program. Specifically, Brownmark's amended complaint seeks damages and injunctive relief for copyright infringement against the defendants because of a South Park episode entitled Canada on Strike. In that episode, one of the characters, Butterscotch, also my favorite, is coaxed by his fellow classmates to record an internet video in the hopes of making money on the internet. The video, which lasts for 58 seconds of the approximately 25-minute episode, replicates parts of the What in the Butt video and the 9-year-old Butters singing the central lines of the original video while dressed as a teddy bear, an astronaut, and even as a daisy. In the episode, Butters' video, much like the original What in the Butt video, goes viral with millions watching the clip. However, after their attempts to collect internet money prove fruitless, the South Park 4th graders learn that their video, much like many other inane viral YouTube clips, have very little value to those who create the work. For as remarkable and fascinating the parties and issues surrounding this litigation are, this order, which will resolve a pending motion to dismiss, will be, by comparison, frankly quite dry. The central legal issues surrounding the motion to dismiss require that the court resolve several relatively tricky issues regarding copyright law and civil procedure, hardly the sort of subject that would create millions of fans, as the work of all of the parties before the court did. Nonetheless, while the court has a tough job, someone has got to do it, and with their shoulder to the wheel, this court forges on to resolve the pending motion. And since we're talking about a very specific part of copyright law, I'm going to skip right ahead. The purpose of showing you this, besides just the fun of it, is to show you that in here, the court does recognize that there is a copyright on things like choreography and dance moves, but in South Park's case, they were making quite a parodic fair use of it. Their use was a copy, but it was a transformative copy, a parodic copy. In Fortnite, though, the point I'm trying to make is that in Fortnite, they don't have parody. Fortnite's not making fun of 2Millie's dance. Fortnite is actually usurping the market for 2Millie's dance. Now, I'm still unclear as to how far a copyright on dance moves goes. Obviously, people can go to a club and do dance moves and no one's going to be able to sue them successfully for copyright infringement. However, what if you are doing a bunch of dance moves and you incorporate 2Millies? Are you now at risk of being sued for copyright infringement? And where is exactly the line of transformation when your dance moves incorporating 2Millie's moves become yours, or when you've infringed and need to buy a license? So I have a feeling the court is going to draw some very sharp lines about dance moves, and it's really only very specific choreography that is copied. So let's play the game of hyperbole. This is the way the game of hyperbole is meant to be used. It is a tool. Let's pretend that I created a piece of choreography for a stage production. And to make this very hyperbolic, let's pretend the stage production is 10 hours long, and very much like the number pi, none of the choreography repeats, and it is continuous for the whole 10 hours. So let's say that some person learns or is somehow able to produce this choreography over the course of 10 hours, and I record it. I've fixed it to a tangible medium of expression. It is copyrighted. Let's say Epic Games comes along and incorporates all 10 hours of my choreography into Fortnite. And you can press a button on your controller to make your character dance, and if you actually leave them for 10 hours, they will do the entire dance from end to end, and just like pi, it will be not repeating, it'll be the exact same numbers over the course of the 10 hours, in the exact order, it'll be the exact dance moves for the 10 hours. I mean, you're with me, right? They've obviously committed copyright infringement. So now just scale it back. Where is the line? If 2Millie's dance move is like this, and that's 2Millie's dance move, what? Like, really? Like, people dance by gyrating back and forth, that's not copyright infringement. He hasn't even copyrighted anything. However, if 2 Millie's dance move is a very specific motion in a very specific set of timings and is always produced exactly that way, and some point, yes, it becomes copyright protected, but it has to reach that threshold. There is a threshold between where I've created a simple swish back and forth, and that's the entire dance move, and somebody's trying to say that that's theirs. I think the game of hyperbole has revealed that that's not theirs. And let's go back to my 10 hours of non-repeating dance moves, and then somebody copies it exactly. Yeah, obviously that's so somewhere. Just use your brain, and I know it doesn't mean you're all going to come to the same conclusion, but use your brain and find that there is something in between there where that line would be. Since one side wins and the other side loses in one scenario, and it reverses at some point, just figure out where the line is, and that's what the court's going to be doing. Where is the line for dance moves, and did 2 Millies reach the level of copyright protectability, and did Epic Games' use reach the level of copyright infringement?
I think one of the questions in my mind is the length of the dance, because a single dance move I think would be hard to copyright. But, you know, a series of dance moves, that seems more, you know, unique and creative. And so I guess in my mind, I'm like, where is that line between, like, have there been enough moves? Is the sequence long enough to be copyrightable that you would only really come up with that by watching the original dancer?
And the line might actually be easier than you think. It's going to be a line that a court can articulate. So that would be the line. If you're trying to write, well, 2 Millie's dance move is a left swoosh and then a right swoosh, and then Epic Games made a dance move that is a left swoosh and a right swoosh. I mean, you can hear it, right? Like you're going, like you're like in your own mind, you're going like, wait a second here, this isn't really enough. But if it's you know, up down left right BA start, and then someone not Konami comes along and makes that, you know, a prominent part of their game or something, you know, that's closer. You've made more moves now. So at some point, the number of moves reaches a level of minimum creativity, and that's what a court has to tackle. Literally, the words minimum creativity, the threshold is called minimum creativity.
But there is no minimum, like, actual standard for each area where copyrights can be registered.
This is a case-by-case kind of basis kind of thing. So you write 5 words on a page. Is that copyrightable? Okay, well, wait a second. We don't know enough. What did you write on the page? Did you create something, or did you just write 5 facts on a page? I'll give you an example. If I wrote 5 phone numbers on a page, that's not really copyrightable, especially if they're factual phone numbers. However, the famous shortest story in the world, 6 words, baby shoes, for sale, never worn, that's copyrightable. I don't see any problem in copywriting that. That was incredibly creative to have to come up with how short could you possibly make a meaningful story. And the story behind that was that I believe it was Hemingway or someone was dared to come up with the shortest story and still have it have like some kind of meaning or message or compelling interest, and not just have it be like, man bumped into the bar, ouch.
Yeah, you know, it needs to be poignant.
It needs to be poignant. It needs to make a point. And so you say baby shoes, for sale, never worn. Your mind goes, wait a second, there's more to this. I want to know more. Why were the baby shoes never worn? Did the baby die? Is this a tragic thing? I did the research. I think the actual story was that they had received extra baby shoes as gifts or something, or they had purchased extra shoes in anticipation of like twins or something. And it was actually not a sad story that they had extra baby shoes. If I recall the story correctly, but if I recall correctly, it was Hemingway recalling a classified ad that he remembered, something like that. I don't remember, but yes, that is obviously taken in the creative context, a super creative story. And so what I'm trying to say is that the line isn't drawn at, well, you use 3 different colors and that's when it's copyrightable, or you say 10 words and that's when it's copyrightable. That's not what it is. That's so that we don't draw the line that way, because that's not what it is. That's not how it's measured. It's measured on a softer standard of how creative was it. And if it's pretty much at all creative, it's copyrightable.
How would I don't know if I'm using this term correctly, but Senefair sort of play into this in the sense that there are certain things that are commonplace in dancing, or that, you know, it's moves that are common enough in hip hop. Yeah. Can you really attribute those moves to 2 milli?
That's a great question, and honestly, I don't think you should sell yourself short. You could really be a lawyer. You're thinking like a lawyer at this point, because I really did think about Senefair at the beginning of this and just said, you know what, it's too complicated to talk about Senefair like as part of the primary story. But yeah, so Senefair are scenes à faire, or scenes of the doing or scenes of the making. They're like background scenes for basically any copyrighted thing. Like if you're writing a story, you're going to need to write 2 people on a bench in a park, or, you know, man gets an unexpected delivery or whatever. You can't copyright the basic structure of a story. So what Tactical's saying is very much like Senefair, you can't copyright like a basic dance move. You can copyright a string or concatenation of dance moves into a performance, but you can't copyright 2 people in the park. You can't copyright swoosh my hands back and forth.
Now, if I was 2 milli, could I bring in the fact that other rappers or other entertainers have claimed that their moves have been stolen, such as Donald Faison? I don't know if that's how you say his last name, from Scrubs. Yeah. That his longer sequence was also copied. You had stuff that looked like, I believe, Snoop Dogg. And so would I be able to say, look, these other entertainers have similar claims to mine? Would that
I would definitely be using that as an argument during discovery. If I asked for discovery of evidence of any emails or messages or whatever pertaining to the creation of that particular dance move, and they said, you know, well, no, we don't think you need that for these reasons and stuff, yeah, I might bring into it. Others have complained about this same thing, and it's very likely that we will find discoverable evidence in the form of emails that say, where are we getting all these dance moves from? There's got to be emails in Fortnite's messaging system, email inbox that go back and forth as to how they created all the dance moves. So let's just get all that and then sort through them ourselves, and then make our final summary judgment motion or whatever based on that, which is what's supposed to happen. And Epic is going to oppose that because that's very expensive for Epic to have to take their lawyers and people's time and search through all of their documents. They're a large company. They're going to have thousands of documents. This is called electronic discovery, and it's a big expense in the legal world.
So do you think this might settle then?
I don't know. Depends on whether their claims are meritorious or not. Epic still has a chance to make a motion to dismiss, and if they successfully make a motion to dismiss, there's no discovery. So that's probably their next step, is a motion to dismiss, I would guess. Probably for failure to state a claim, and probably for what I said, that 2 milli's dance move, while a popular dance move, you can certainly spread a dance move around. There's nothing wrong with me selling, what is it, sodium bicarbonate or calcium bicarbonate or whatever the basic formula for commercial laundry detergent is. There's nothing stopping me from selling generic laundry detergent, repackaging it and calling it OxyClean. Obviously I can't do that, but OxyClean can. And that's pretty much what they do. They have fancy packaging and they sell you generic laundry detergent for 10 times what they pay for it. And that's fine. That's marketing. That's what they're allowed to do. That's the free market at work. 2 Milli can make a dance move and market his music and song and everything using that. That doesn't mean he owns it. he needs to be minimally creative first. And I'm not saying he hasn't been minimally creative. I don't know the whole dance move. I don't know the whole song. I don't know 2 milli. Really, I'm not even going to go there. His music is fine. I'm not saying anything wrong with him or it. I'm not so arrogant enough as to say that I can just dive into that world of music, rap in this case, and just know enough to say, I know 2 milli. No. I don't know 2 milli. I don't know the thing. I can look at a video and make a judgment, and so far what I've seen is right there on the line, probably not in 2 milli's favor. But it could be more. Again, I've not done more. So thank you for joining me. I am Leonard French, your favorite copyright attorney. Really appreciate you tuning in, being interested in the law and the various ways it plays out. Thank you very much for our Patreon supporters in the month of December. Thank you to Justin Rogers, who has pledged $500 in December, as well as November. We really appreciate that, and we are working on his story. We'll be in touch with that very shortly here. Thank you very much to the $50 plus supporters: Jonathon Doe, John Steele, Gavin Barnard, Kyle Mudrak, Eevi, Andy, Verement, Tayne, William Gonzalez, Michael Pearce, Terry Crisp, Richard Fournier, Breakfast Demon, Spirit Bear, Jan Negrey, JAXMerrick, and Daniel Perez. And thank you to the over 200 $5 plus supporters who are scrolling on the LED panel behind me. And thank you to the total of over 400 Patreon supporters that are supporting our channel, making this whole thing possible. Love you all. I am Leonard French, your favorite copyright attorney, and I will see you this week. Bye.